Hello, all my lovely people, and welcome to your Virgo new moon reading. The Virgo new moon is coming up on September 6th, and it's going to be climaxing around 6:51 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so wherever you're at in the world, you can adjust that. But I love the Virgo new moon. It is a call to reflect. So where are you right now? Where do you want to go now? What have you realized about your goal or your goals since the last full moon in Virgo, which this year was on February 27th of 2001. There's like a 6-month-ish cycle between, you have a new moon in Virgo, and then you go up to the full moon in Virgo, and then you go back to the new moon in Virgo. And it's this beautiful process of planting new seeds, them growing, you come into this place of harvest, and then as you go back to the new moon, looking at what you're ready to let go of and what you're ready to change. So you can ask yourself, what have you been letting go since the last full moon? And really, now, with it being a new moon, it's a great time for a clever, simple, well-organized, restart. So you can consider perhaps focusing on what you can give to others as you plant these new seeds going forward. Virgos, of course, have a strong health aspect as well. So you might also reflect on what you can give to your body. And that can be your, looking at what seeds you want to plant until the next full moon in Virgo. So I am doing, of course, a reading for each individual zodiac sign. So whichever signs you want to look at, your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus, whatever you want to focus in on, look at a variety of them if you'd like to get a full picture of what this new moon energy is bringing in for you. And we'll go ahead and jump into the reading right now. All right, my Leos, this is your reading for your Virgo new moon. And because it's like a call to reflect upon things, the first deck we're going to use are these empowering questions. And we're going to see what question the Creator would like you to consider during this new moon period. And we're going to be looking at like the week before the new moon and the 2 weeks after up to the next full moon that happens during this month. So that's kind of the time period we're looking at least for the initial spark of all this, right? All right, Creator, for our Leos, what question would you like them to consider? Okay, I want to do that one there. Okay, actually, they said, yes, that's both. That's why they had to come out. So we will listen to them. And what are your best qualities? Of course, being a Leo, you should be able to identify those pretty quick because you're pretty self-aware when it comes to your gifts and your abilities. And then what is your instinct telling you to do? So I love that. What's your best qualities? And then what is your instinct telling you to do with those qualities? So I love those questions coming up here for you because it seems like it is this totally in with what our reading was talking about, right? On the intro, we mentioned, where are you right now, and what do you want? Where you want to go now? So this is like, okay, here you go. So beautiful questions to find out. I really feel this is going to be a wonderful little phase of 3 weeks where you're really zeroing in on getting back to you instead of what you feel like all the outside world is telling you who you are and blah, blah, blah. It's been confusing, communications a lot coming from the outside. And you're like, well, you know what? I'm going to take a deep breath, step away, and I need to reconnect with me. So because I know what my best qualities are, regardless of if anyone else recognizes them or not, right? And that's going to be you there. And then now that you're getting kind of this refocus, this repurposing, it's like, now what do you want to do? now that you got that clearer picture, that clearer mind, all those voices that were not trying to confuse, but we're confusing you because they're contradictory and all over the place. You have this pinpoint focus, I feel. And then we are going to pull 3 cards here from the Enchanted map. One's going to be the week before the full moon, the next week after the full moon, and then the second week after the new moon, not the full moon. So we'll take a look here and just shuffle these up and see what the Creator wants you to know for each of those weeks. And then we'll pull some clarifying cards for those as well. So for the week before the new moon, what do you want the Leos to know? Okay, I feel like it's that one here, and then this one for that next week, and then that one for that week. So they are boom, 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 coming right out here for you. And so for the week before the full moon, you've got flying, number 20. And I really feel like I like your dreams, like when you fly in your dreams, how you feel so free and just out from underneath all that controlling stuff. And so I really feel this fits really well within this, what are your best qualities, because you're, again, with that clarity, you're flying above the clouds, you're flying above the storm, you're flying above the fog. And that's when you're getting that clarity there. And let's see what message comes with that here. It says, you have the power to see things from a higher perspective. If you were a bird flying high in the air, what would you see? When you soar above life's challenges and opportunities, a new perspective becomes available. Today, you have invisible wings that allow you to swiftly bring your circumstances into alignment with your highest purpose. This is a sign that your waiting is over, that all your hard work has paid off, and the things you hoped for are no longer beyond your scope. You have the ability to reach for the stars and find one with your name on it. Spread your wings and soar. The angels are waiting. And I love that, especially what is your instinct telling you to do? And it says, with these invisible wings, it allows you to swiftly bring your circumstances into alignment with your highest purpose. So this week before the new moon is going to be bringing you some clarification on, really connecting to your higher self. And I love that this is card number 20, which reduces down to a 2, which is this message that there is 2 of you on your journey with you, 2 sides of yourself within your being. You've both got the physical being, that's walking upon the earth, as well as the higher being that you are, that is the actor behind the character that you're playing here. And so I feel with this connection and connection to this higher realm here and connection to your higher self, that is what helps clarify what your true gifts and abilities are, and what your true purpose and what makes your heart and your soul sing. So some great clarification, and it's perfect for a new moon, because the new moon is the time to plant new seeds and for restarts and new starts, right? So I love that. So that's coming up to it. And then the week after the full moon, you got encouragement here. And so again, I kind of feel like this is your big self and your little self. You're getting this encouragement from on high, from up above, from what counts and what matters, right? Because when we look for our validation in the external world, it's such a fickle, unstable, wavering, opinion that comes, from others to us about us, because it depends on how they're feeling, what they're going through, what lens they're looking through at the time. Because one moment we could be something that's, wow, you're a superstar, and the other moment they could be in a rotten mood or feeling jealous or something like that, and be all like, oh, you can't do that, so it's always this wavering things. But when we connect from up above, where they don't have a need for more power than they are, because they already are all powerful, already limitless, eternal, stable, they're able to give us that encouragement, that true encouragement that we know doesn't have any ulterior motives. So let's see what else comes with this card here. It says you're receiving a nudge in the right direction, right? So this card tells you that you're being gently encouraged to step into your power, into the dream of your life. New things are out there to be explored, and the nurturing power of the universe is giving you a nudge in that direction. You'll get the help you need, and you won't be alone in your quest. Every step you take right now is supported by the wisdom of the universe. You're on the right path. Keep going. So beautiful. Yeah, and I love that you're always supported by the Creator, and that when we look for our abundance and we look for our assistance in the outside world, that's when we fear it's limited, like I said, unstable, and they may not have all the resources we need. But when you realize that it's the Creator of all things that brings us our abundance and brings us what we need, He just brings it through middlemen, through these shipping companies that get the product to us, right? And so that is what I really feel about this too, is that awareness that all your abundance comes from the Creator up above, not from all this physical world. So there'll always be enough for you in your moment for what you need for your highest experience, your highest vibration of unconditional love. And then the second week after the the new moon, I keep on saying full moon, is metamorphosis. So you go through this beautiful transition. Of course, the butterfly is always a perfect example of going from the caterpillar to the cocoon to the butterfly. And just beautiful unfolding to be who you are, and to have what it's like your life goes through this metamorphosis, right? Goes through all this like a transformation, obviously, and that's what happens. There's this beautiful phrase, and I apologize, I don't know who it's from, but it says, we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. So if we see the world from this place of chaos and from lack and less and all those fun, uncomfortable emotions of fear that we experience here, then that's how we see the world. But when we change and look at it from a new, like a new perspective, then you see the world in that way. So if you connect to that unconditional love from the Creator on the other side, and that's what's filling you up in the moment, and that's what you're feeling, that's what you'll see. And so you'll see the world that is much kinder than when you saw it as this mean, kind of thing that's happening to you, right? So let's read from here. It says, you are in the process of deep and beautiful change. Butterflies earn their wings through great effort. The process of change is often painful, for it is never without losses and sacrifices. If you're to transform from one form to another, a part of you needs to die. And letting go isn't easy, especially when you're used to thinking a certain way about your life and how you live it. Just as a snake sheds its dead skin or a caterpillar dies so that a butterfly can be born, you're required to release your old ideas and embrace unnecessary change so you can live your best life. Perhaps you're being asked to let go of low self-worth, a dream that no longer serves you, a relationship that's draining, or unhealthy habits. Despite your fear, you must accept that this is a transformational time for you. There will be some loss involved, but you'll love what you become. Yeah, and I definitely understand, our ego does resist change because it likes to feel safe. It likes to, feel and experience what is the norm, right? And we will resist changing things, and generally that's when our fear outweighs our feelings of wanting to change, right? Wanting something different. And if our fear is greater than that, then we won't make that move. But eventually, when our feelings of not being our true self and feeling that humdrum, is tired of, like I always say, sick and tired of being sick and tired, or you're so disappointed and all those other things that you're just like, I'm ready. And so when your fears drop low enough, or your feelings drop high enough over that, then that's when we make change. So don't fear that you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be forced to make change. You're never forced to make change, because no one can ever make you do anything you don't want to do for very long at all. You can pretend, sometimes you'll try quitting smoking for someone because they care about you and they want you to quit, and you're like, well, I don't want to quit, and so you'll sneak around behind their back, or you'll try for a good week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you go back into it because it's not something you really wanted. But that's what this is like, finding out what your best qualities are, what do you want, and then what is your intent telling you to do. What do you want to do with it? And because these are things that you want to change, that's why the change happens, right? So no fears. Again, you never have to do anything you don't want to do. That's our power of choice here. Even though people think that they can control us, you can't change me from the outside in. You can only change from the inside out. So when our heart changes, it rolls out to the outside. The outside doesn't roll into the inside normally to change our hearts. So, people try to plant seeds in people's lives to, get them to change, but those seeds take a lifetime to grow. But when you give someone love, that goes immediately directly to the heart. So giving love is the only thing that changes the world, because that changes the heart. So there you go. And then we're going to pull some cards here from these Light Seers Tarot. And we're going to get clarification on these areas here. In fact, what I want to do is put these here and move these on up. So put those up there. These to the side. All right, there we go. All right, creators, so for the week before the new moon, what do you want our Leos to know about that first week? Okay. Yep, and you got the Strength card here, and this is so perfect for what we are talking about seeing from a higher perspective, realizing that there's two of you in here. Because the message of this card for me is, the side of us that's the lion, that is our human side, our fight or flight side, the human being going through the human experience. And, it's hungry and it's taught to look outside of itself for its food and its water, right? And so it goes out there and it tries the food, but it's this food that goes right through you like American Chinese food, and you're hungry an hour later. And then it goes to drink and it ends up drinking soda or pop, and it's full of sodium, so it drinks it and it's even thirstier than it was before it went to drink. And so it's desperately seeking to solve this hunger, quench this thirst, and nothing's working. So he's going around the jungle. He's all, I like to say, hangry, which is hungry, angry, and roaring, and, causing a ruckus, right? Well, then you have our spiritual side. You see the infinity symbol here. So our infinite self, along with its love, because it's a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. It comes to calm down the lion. And what the lion, or human is really looking for is love. It looks for love out there and it gets disappointed because all that stuff is unstable and temporary, like we were talking about. But our higher self, because it is made of unconditional love and brings unconditional love, brings it to the lion. So rather than trying to cage the lion or pierce the lion with a sword or try to get it under control with like a whip and a chair, what it does is it brings love and gives it love, and it embraces its, that side. It hugs it, and it then transforms from this loud roaring lion in the jungle to this purring little kitten in your lap, just taking in the love, purring, showing that it is feeling safe and secure in your lap. And so this is that energy that comes in with us flying high and connecting to above, because that is what quenches your thirst. And then we'll move on to the week after the new moon, the first week. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So you've got the rebirth, the Empress, creativity, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, again, nurturing. And, just wonderful, feeling safe in the womb. I love, here's that connection to the moon, which is about getting in tune with your emotions and getting in tune with your higher self, the communication, with your gut and your intuition. But it's a beautiful, beautiful feeling of being free, because the Empress is all, it's like Mother Nature. It's about nature, and they're free. Yeah, there's things that happen and roll, but it doesn't freak out. It's like, oh no, the trees don't scream, winter's coming, or anything like that, right? They're just like, yeah, here it comes. We knew it was. It's part of the whole process. It goes with the flow. Whereas, like, after the 3 in the major arcana comes the Emperor and the Hierophant. And when you look at those, like, the Emperor represents society, which comes in to restrict humans' actions so that we can all get along and not kill each other by living in close proximity of each other. And then the Hierophant is what brings in organization around religion and spiritual practices. And so they become that human side, which is restrictive, trying to define, and it boxes us all in. And so it feels oppressive, where the Empress is before all that. And so you're going back to this feeling of freedom, and you're just feeling this expansiveness instead, which is beautiful. And then, so the second week after the new moon, Creator, which do you want our Leahs to know about that time frame? Okay. Yeah. 10 of Swords. And so 10 of Swords, which is so ironic, because when I was talking about all the expectations, the swords are your thoughts, your belief, your mindsets, your attitudes. And so these are all those things flying around your head, causing all the noise, distracting you, disturbing your peace, right? Because all these expectations of all the shoulds, the supposed tos, and need tos, and have tos that you have to do, you have to meet all these to be lovable, blah, 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 blah. That's all the stuff from before, right? And this is the stuff that once you experience this connection to that higher unconditional love and you feel that freedom, you start to cut away, because the 10 is all about endings and new beginnings. And so you're ending this and you're going into this new beginning. I mean, this is the metamorphosis. This is the end and beginning, like the butterfly, all that ends. And I love doing this on this card, because once those expectations drop, then, this is what it looks like. A beautiful walk along the beach, watching the sunrise, feeling the newness of everything coming. And so that is the peace that you move into because of this. So, it totally makes it worth it, right? Beautiful. And then lastly, I'm going to pull a couple cards here from this Clarity deck, which is from the Girls Gone Happy. Girls Gone Happy. I love, that name. I just can't say it enough. Every time I say it, I just grin and giggle, because it's just a wonderful name, right? You can embrace that. And even if you're a boy or whatever you identify as, right? Girls Gone Happy. All right, Creator, what's your final message here for Leo for this season here, for this little new moon phase that's coming up? Okay, want that one. And then what else? Okay, and that one. So you got a topic card, which is fun. It's time to have fun. Why are you being so serious? And this is why you get so serious, because our ego, this lion, when it's starving and trying to go through, the jungle, and he's trying to get something to quench his thirst and something to fill his belly, and it's not working, that becomes not fun at all. But you can, once we start letting go of attachment to all these things that we think need to happen in order to be happy, you can just be happy for no reason at all. And then no one can take that away. And then you also got travel. So the question is, how can travel, either the actual experience or as a metaphor, help you in this situation right now. So how can you travel in the physical world? How can you travel in your spiritual world? How can you rise above? Meditations, even getting out into nature. But yeah, definitely moving and traveling to a new place. I mean, this whole metamorphosis is about movement and traveling from one world to the next. And you can do that within a second. Doesn't have to be this long, 30 light year away travel. It can be very simple and very fast. In a moment when we release an expectation, you can go from feeling, this Ten of Swords, which is usually someone laying flat down on the ground with all the swords stuck in their back, exhausted, still alive, looking towards the sunrise, but exhausted. You move from that to this place of fun, this place of beauty, this place of flying high and feeling free. So definitely a beautiful phase of the moon here for you, and I'm excited to see what it brings for you. So just know as you go through each and every day, every second, that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. You have an amazing new moon phase here, and I'm positive I will talk to you soon. You take care now.